I just um I just heard a video by a guy who's autistic, and he's asking about, like, when did you discover that people wanted to hurt you? And for me, that was 2 years ago. Now, you see, part of seeing the good in other people for me was that I never saw their intentions. You see, like, when people would do things that hurt me, I always knew that they were hurting because I could feel their emotions, I could feel their pain. So I forgave everybody. But when I discovered my girlfriend, I knew that what she was doing was to hurt me. It broke me. But I realized that everybody that I loved in my life was always trying to hurt and destroy me. That's why I turned my mind to help other people. I couldn't understand a world like that. That I lived in a different world where I could help people, where I could bring people with me on my journey. And now what I realized is I have to be alone. I can't be around these people anymore. They always try to destroy me. It doesn't matter what I bring. It doesn't matter how much I love. It doesn't matter that I can cause people to wake up. That part of the curse of having the gift of objective awareness is to live a life of heartbreak because, God's children, many people are afflicted and affected by the ego, and that's really all it is. And so this world demented me, that I was just a regular child, but I developed a lot of afflictions that I never blamed my family for. I went through life suffering without knowing why. And it took me 40 some years to wake up from the nightmare. And I know that there's many people like me out there that are gifted, many people that care about other people, and they get broken. They get broken because they can't understand the sadistic nature of anger. You see, the reason why I had to end my relationship is because the person gets angry and wants to hurt me, doesn't want to work out their challenges, always makes it my fault. And everybody that I encounter becomes a victim to me, and everybody that I try to work with sabotages. Everybody that I try to work with, eventually their triggers become what define me totally. And so I had to discover that. And so the basic, reasons for why I developed my coaching methods to cause people to wake up from ego was it was the only thing I could do. That there is nothing else I could do in this world, because everything I do, they call me a liar. Everything I do, they tell me I'm stupid. They tell me I'm unqualified. It doesn't matter what I do. I could demonstrate my engineering. I could share it with people. They don't care. They don't care about my green energy ideas. They don't care that I could build a 2,000 horsepower car with no experience, that I just started working on cars in 2015, and I can tell people how to solve green energy. That everything I do is self-taught, but it's a product of my creativity. And I didn't know that. I didn't know I was creative because I would just talk about the things that seemed obvious and apparent to me. But in my entire life, I would get surrounded by narcissists, get surrounded by people that would just use me, mirror me, that come into my life, and then they act like they care, they act like my friend, and then they set me up for betrayals for sadistic purposes. That's what broke me. What broke me was all the failures I've ever experienced were orchestrated by people I loved. I just couldn't live in that world. I couldn't live in that world. The only thing I could do was to change that world. I could see that people like me historically were the ones that got killed. They would kill me if they could. See, that's what people don't understand. That when you see everybody you love hate you, I can't describe what that's like. Everybody, my family, everyone hates me. I had to come here and deal with people hating me all the time. I had to become strong. I had to become something just to survive. Just to survive people like this. And so when I saw that man say, "When did you discover that people wanted to hurt you?" I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept it. I had to accept it. I had to accept a world that's evil. That this world is hell. This world is the literal biblical hell. And the ego is the Satan, the voice of the mind that condemns people. The voice of the mind that tells you I'm evil. The voice of the mind that gives you the entitlement to hurt others. The voice of the mind that justifies your dark motives. The voice of the mind that tells you you're not good enough. I had to discover why people were this way. I dedicated my mind to it. And ironically, it took me minutes. It was so easy. But that's only because I had to go within my own mind. But when I heard this guy today say, "When did you discover that people wanted to hurt you?" That was when the narcissist was suing me. That was when I discovered my girlfriend was cheating on me in front of my face because she enjoyed the sadistic release of getting away with it and kissing me on the mouth. I discovered it was my brother and my mother who wanted to put me in an institution. They were trying to push me to unalive myself on purpose. I discovered I had nobody. And even when I tell people about that, they don't care. That the people come to me just to take my knowledge, just to, tell me what kind of person I am. And, when they see me acting, erratic or acting sad, they don't understand that I've only existed around narcissists and now I'm free. And so I ended my last relationship because I realized I can't coexist with afflicted people because they get more satisfaction out of hurting me than letting go. And so I can't be your boyfriend if you won't let go of your anger. I can't be your boyfriend if you're gonna try to hurt me or smear me to your family, if you're gonna close my world off, if you're gonna interfere with my coaching, if you're gonna consume everything that I am, if you're gonna use me and then tell people I'm a bad guy, if you're gonna use me and then make it my fault, the evil is the ego. The ego is incapable of understanding people like me because the ego has no imagination. The ego is only a bag of reactions that masquerades around as a person, and it's incomplete. That people like me are complete because we have what's called empathy. Empathy is the reason we don't want to hurt anybody, because empathy punishes us for hurting you. Empathy makes me feel like I'm not myself, that I became like an autistic borderline that developed into ADHD because the catastrophic effects on your mind of being told you're mentally ill, being told that you're broken by your narcissistic people, being told by psychologists you have learning disabilities and they can't see that you can build remote control cars or you understand everything about engines. And so people like me cannot be identified by the world of psychology because the psychology is a parrot. The psychology is only pertaining to egos. All the psychology that they have today, unless it's Carl Jung, is essentially a stigmatization device of egos attempting to categorize their own brokenness that is actually only an illusion of the mind. And so all human brokenness and all human suffering is the sympathetic nervous system fight or flight reaction programmed in early childhood against the child. So all children develop it, and my ego was incomplete. And so that's why it looked like a dissociative bipolar or something, because I had objective awareness and freedom, but it was demented and, stolen and broken by being around narcissists all the time. And so that's what just hit me today. At least I know who my people are. Fuck.